how's it going? Matthew Bailey here, and welcome to another 2022 movie review. And yes, I know this video is technically a day late, but it's fine. I saw this movie on Thursday night after I got off work, but I'm finally reviewing it, and that is Fantastic Beasts 3: The Secrets of Dumbledore. So, the main thing I want to say about this movie is that, in my opinion, I definitely think it's an improvement after the last movie that came out, The Crimes of Grindelwald. That movie, even though it had Johnny Depp in it as Jack Sparrow, which I am still a 100% Depp supporter, however, I will admit that Mads Mikkelsen as his replacement in this movie, I kind of felt like that was a much better performance than Johnny Depp gave in The Crimes of Grindelwald. I mean, I'm not going to even include the first movie because he was only in there for like a few seconds with only like 2 lines. But in The Crimes of Grindelwald, I have to admit, Mads Mikkelsen is a little bit better as Grindelwald than Johnny Depp was, but I still support Johnny Depp 100%. Because if we can all agree on one thing, it's that he can never be replaced as Captain Jack Sparrow. If they ever try to recast him, unless it was like a younger version that was younger than what he was in The Curse of the Black Pearl, I would be okay with that. But if you brought Jack Sparrow back into the Pirates of the Caribbean movies without Johnny Depp, I guarantee you, a lot of fans are going to be like, and not want to see it. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Fantastic Beasts. So like I said, the movie definitely does better than the last one. It's not a great film still, but I still think it definitely improved a little bit. And it seems like we are done with the Fantastic Beasts series part of the story. If they do decide to go with another movie, they're probably going to strictly focus on Dumbledore and Grindelwald, and leading up to their epic battle. And like I said, the characters are all great in this, except for one who I was surprised didn't really show up until the last bit of the movie. But now there was a lot of controversy in the last few weeks, but right before the movie came out, surrounding the character played by Ezra Miller. However, I hear that this is his last physical appearance as the character, because I don't want to give away anything, but the way his story concludes in this third movie tells you that he's probably done with the franchise after this, for sure. So I'm kind of glad that they did his story the way they did. So he's not even going to be showing up in the movies anymore, which makes it a little bit easier on Warner Brothers for not needing to use his character. But the way they portrayed his character, actually, now that whole thing we saw at the end of the second movie where he was revealed as a Dumbledore, but they were saying that he was Albus's brother, supposed long-lost brother. When you all think Harry Potter, you only know of 3 Dumbledore siblings: Albus himself, Aberforth, and Ariana. Now, one out of the 2 remaining siblings that we know from the main universe, which are Albus and Aberforth, one of them is related to Credence's Aurelius Dumbledore, but it's not who you think. Like I said, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil the movie for you, any of you who still want to watch it, but the way they ended off his story, I kind of am glad they won't have to bring Ezra Miller back to play the character again. Now, if I had to choose what they decide to do after Mads Mikkelsen's performance, I still think you should use him, even if Johnny Depp wins this whole defamation case that he's currently in the midst of right now, which I have been watching each and every day so far, which right now they've only done 3 days of the case, and the last day, that was an interesting time, but I'm not going to get into that too much. So if they had to decide whether or not to keep Mads Mikkelsen on as the character, if they decide to continue, or bring back Johnny Depp, I pretty much guarantee they're going to keep Mads Mikkelsen in the role this time. But, I mean, because, hey, we saw Colin Farrell play him in the first movie. We saw Johnny Depp in the second movie, and now we see Mads Mikkelsen. If they had to keep at least one of these three actors between Johnny Depp and Mads Mikkelsen, I still think Mads Mikkelsen is better. And now, like I said, it's not a great film. It definitely improves. I love the nostalgia of them bringing back Hogwarts. It was actually, I think Hogwarts was used a lot better in this movie than they did in the last one, because we saw flashbacks and real life scenes in this movie, and we didn't really get to see that many iconic rooms in the castle. But this movie definitely fixes that. And honestly, if I had to guess whether or not this series will continue, I'm hoping, as long as the movie breaks even at the box office, meaning they spent $200 million to make the movie, so it needs to make at least $200 million plus in order to break even. Meaning they would have at least made all their money back, and maybe a little bit more. And if that at least happens, then they'll probably continue on with the franchise. Even though it has a lot less money than even Crimes of Grindelwald, it'll probably continue on as long as they break even at the box office. But, anyways, let me give you my rating of the movie. So, for my rating of this movie, like I said, it's not a bad film, and it's not a great film either. It's basically a good film. It's definitely an improvement on the last one. I'm going to have to give this movie a 3 out of 5. Yep, unfortunately it's just a 3 out of 5. However, The Crimes of Grindelwald, I actually remember giving that like a 2.5. I mean, the only one that I think I gave a 3.5 to out of all three movies was the first one. This one comes in at a 3. So it definitely isn't as good as the first one, but it's definitely an improvement after the last one. Anyways, that's all for now in this movie review. Now, the next movie I'm planning on seeing is probably The Bad Guys. Anyways, that's all for now in my movie review, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.